In this video, we're going to cover few essentials viewport viewing options. Within the perspective viewport, in the top left, you have a drop-down menu, which will give you viewport options. You can enable real-time, you can show stats, you can change the field view of the camera, you can set bookmarks, change the layout of your viewports, and you can enable advanced settings, which will take you to level editor viewports. Under lit, if you left click, this will give you different view modes for that viewport. This will control how the viewport is viewed, whether you want it lit, unlit, lighting only, and so on. And under show, if you left click, it will give you a drop down menu to enable or disable certain elements within that viewport. So you can turn off atmosphere, turn on or off PSP, static meshes, and so on. There are a lot of options underneath each of these menus, but I'm going to cover only the essential few that you need to get started right now. So the first one that I want to cover is real-time. If I enable real-time or press Ctrl R as a shortcut, this will enable this viewport to be functioning as real-time. So you can see that the clouds are moving. If we had particle effects, you can see the particle effects moving. So if I press F11 so you can see a little bit better. And if I press Ctrl R, this will turn off real-time preview. So the real-time preview helps you to see what the viewport looks like in full motion. The next one is game mode, G key. This will turn on or off all of the editor actors that are not visible in game. So you can see what your viewport looks like as the player would see it. And if you press Ctrl R, this will give you the game mode and real-time preview, so you can see more accurately what your level will look like in game from the player's point of view. And the last one I want to cover underneath the viewport options is bookmarks. This will set bookmarks inside your scene. So for example, if you want to position your camera and you like this view, use the drop-down menu, bookmarks, set bookmark, and you can set 10 different bookmarks. So the editor will remember the position of your camera next time you want to look at that point of view. So let's go ahead and set it to bookmark 1, Ctrl 1, shortcut. So now if I move the camera away and I press 1, this will jump back to that camera position. So if I move and say, let's say I like this point of view. Now press Ctrl 2, shortcut. So now I can jump, pressing the 1 key, I can jump back to the original camera position, and pressing that 2 key, this will jump back to the second camera position I set. So this is a great way to set different set points, different bookmarks around your environment, and then you can jump to those bookmarks anytime you want. And if you want to clear all the bookmarks or a specific bookmark, use the drop down menu, bookmarks, and you can clear a specific one or clear them all. Next option I want to cover are view modes. These will render your viewport in a specific way, such as lit, unlit, wireframe, detail lighting, lighting only, shader complexity, and so on. Currently, our viewport is using the lit view mode. We can change this to unlit, which will disable any lights and we will see a full bright environment. We can use it as wireframe, shader complexity, light map density. Each of these are specific to a certain area of production and will be used for optimization. So think of these as a debug mode. Each of these is focused on a specific aspect of production in order to help you to construct your environments better. To begin with, focus on the first three, lit, unlit, and wireframe. The rest are going to be used when you get more comfortable with using Unreal Engine and when you begin to light your environments, create shaders, import your own static meshes, and optimize your environment. But the first three is what we'll use to begin with: lit, unlit, and wireframe. And each of these have a shortcut key, Alt 2, Alt 3, and Alt 4. The last viewport option is show, and here you can enable or disable certain actors and elements from being visible in the scene. So if we want to turn off static meshes, or turn off or on certain post-processing settings, developer mode options, volumes, and so on. These options will eliminate those actors from being visible. So let's go ahead and reset everything to default. You'll find most of these options are on a need to use basis. So if you notice your level getting cluttered with all these actors, and you want to focus on a specific aspect of a scene, you can use these options to turn on or off various elements to simplify your working space in order to improve your workflow. Now, all of these options are for in-editor only. That means if I enable any of these options or disable any of the actors from being visible, this only corresponds to the editor window and not to the game itself. So if I turn off static meshes, this is just for the editor. I can still jump in the game and still have all the actors and elements be visible in game. So now that you know how to navigate around viewports and change options of how your viewports are viewed, in the next video we're going to take a little sidestep and we will cover how to save and open maps, and I will show you how to create a new blank map. The next video will help to set us up for the following video, in which we will cover how to select, move, rotate, scale, and work with objects in our scene.